answering your questions about retirement. It's Money Talk with Michael Eastham.
I'm 66 and am thinking about retiring in the next year. I have several investments, and with Social Security, I think I'll be fine. But I've had a rental for 20 years, and I'm wondering if I should keep it or not. Any advice you could give me would be appreciated.
All right, rental real estate can be a very good retirement income source. You just have to ask yourself several questions. One is, are you comfortable maintaining that property once you're retired? Do you want to have to get to fix toilets in the middle of the night on the weekends? Do you want to have to worry about a hurricane and replacing a roof or a hot water heater or some of those things? Those can be headaches as it relates to active managed real estate, especially if it's rental property. Do you want to have to deal with tenants and people not paying rent and collections and kicking people out if they're not paying their rent? Those are certainly a number of things that you do have to think about once you're retired. Now, for many people, the answer might be yes. And I will tell you this, if you actively manage a rental property, it can be a very good source of rental income because the return on your investment can be higher than it would be if you invested in other types of income generating investments. So you've got to ask yourself that. Now, if the answer is no, then there are a couple things you can do. One is you can hire a property manager, pay them 10%. They'll find the tenants, they'll deal with all the headaches, and all you have to do is sit back and collect the rent check. The other thing you can do is you've owned this property for 20 years. You can sell the property. If you don't want to deal with any of those headaches and you're tired of having to worry about extra expenses, then perhaps selling the property. But one thing you need to be aware of is that I'm assuming that if you own that property for 20 years, you've been getting the benefit of something called depreciation every single year. Depreciation reduces your taxes. That's a good thing. However, when you sell the property, then you're going to have capital gains, number one. And number two is that depreciation that you've taken over the 20 years is going to have to be recaptured. That means that you're going to have to pay income tax on a higher amount than you may think of just by saying, hey, I paid $100,000 for this property, I'm selling it for $150,000. Well, if you've depreciated it by $80,000, well then guess what? That $80,000 is something that you're going to have to report as part of the gain on the sale of that property. It's a little more complicated than that, but I don't want you to get stung by a big tax bill if you don't take that into consideration. We'll be happy to help you consider the tax ramifications of a sale, and then also compare how much could you benefit from if you sold the property and then reallocated that investment in some actively managed portfolio of income generating investments as well. Help you make an informed decision about income in your retirement by utilizing passive income strategies. Thanks so much for that question, and look forward to speaking with you again.
If you've got a financial question you'd like to have answered, click on the link below to submit your question. You may hear your answer on an upcoming edition of Money Talk.